gentlemen, welcome to Comtex International Corporation. You are now looking at the world's headquarters of Comtex International Corporation, located in Houston, Texas, at 12012 Winchester Drive. Once again, let me welcome you, ladies and gentlemen, to Comtex International Corporation. My name is Albert Bloom. I'm president of Comtex. And now, if you'll follow me, we will continue our tour with the first stop being our training department. We're just about to begin a training facility, so let's go inside and watch one in progress. Good morning, everybody. All right. Good morning. Good morning. It's our last day of training, and I'd like to start out this morning by going around and getting a little feedback. If anybody would like to share with the group what your feelings have been over the last 2 weeks. Anybody? Okay, Ron.
Well, what I have received in the last 2 weeks has been very in-depth, and at times, yes, it has been intense, but it's been very much fun. And personally, my goals, what I have set for myself, I'm not going to be satisfied my first year with anything less than $60,000 in sales.
All right. Someone else? Okay, how about Walter?
In a brief 2-week period, we've become dynamic salespeople. Prior to this training, many of us had heard and even believed that a salesman was born with his sales ability. However, we now know that's not the fact. We've received a systematic sales program which, if applied, will produce closed sales.
How much will you earn, Walter?
I'll earn $125,000 in the next 12 months.
$125,000. All right, how about Mindy?
Well, Al, I've been in Interconnect for 5 years, and so I've attended a lot of technical training, but I've really learned more in these 2 weeks than I've learned in any of those other training classes. And I've set a personal goal for myself of $65,000 this year.
65,000. All right, Kevin.
Okay. For me, Al, being a recent college graduate with no sales experience, I was out in the cold. When I received the offer here, I realized when I had to pay a fee for training that y'all were looking for a commitment. I was considering it to be an asset to training. And that's exactly what it's been. It's been a big asset for me. And I set my first year goals earnings to be $50,000.
Okay, let's go to work. Now let's visit our administrative department. What we are looking at is our coordinators who act as liaison between Bell and all of our clients. It is their function to handle all problems relating to Bell, ordering of lines, anything to do with problems in billing, what have you. Now we will go in and take a look at our accounting department. Our accounting department is 1,000% computerized, and in our computer data bank is stored over 3,500 Comtex clients, a complete database with all information. It is online with all of our branch offices throughout the United States. We are now looking in our controller's office, Mr. Morris Heinschel, and we will now end our tour of our accounting facilities with Mr. Clyde Gilbert, who's our Vice President of Finance. Clyde's function, in addition to running all the finances at Comtex, is also to act as liaison between all of Comtex's main vendors, such as Iwatsu, ITT, Walker. Our next stop is our luncheon room provided for our employees, where they are able to come in and have coffee, lunch, a microwave oven, what have you. We will now go into our sales department. At Comtex International Corporate Headquarters, there are 30 sales representatives, and we are now in our sales department. Over on our left are our sales manager's offices. The office on the left is Peter Lazzari's office. On the right is Abbas Masseni's office.
Who had the appointment? It was a sale. A sale. Yeah.
We will now go into a technical training class in progress being put on by one of our key manufacturers, ITT. And here, a number of technicians from our various branches are learning the ITT 3100 system. We will now proceed ahead into our copier and supply room. We are now looking at our copier supply room, including our data bank area. Here, salespeople are able to come in and do proposals for potential clients via a complete data bank area. We will now continue our tour. This is our branch office, branch manager's office. Mark Jones, who's head of the entire Houston corporate office branch sales force. We'll now continue on our tour. This is our executive secretarial area. On our right, we'll be passing Mr. Walter Griffin's office, who's also one of our key sales managers here in Houston. And finally, on our tour, prior to going to our service department, we have my office. We will leave my office in a moment and head down to the first floor to our service department and take a look at our parts department, our service vehicles, our building area, which is all located on the first floor at Comtex International in Houston. We are now on the first floor, and we are about to enter Comtex International Corporation's service department. At Comtex, we use three types of service vehicles. We use Toyotas, we use Chevy vans, and we also use a combination of Citations and Chevettes as troubleshooting service vehicles. The service fleet in Houston now consists of 22 vehicles, and of course each branch throughout the United States is equipped with a number of service vehicles to provide adequate service for our clients in each city. We are now going to go into the parts department, into the building and testing area. Here we see our building and testing area. All of our systems are pre-built and tested 100% prior to going to the client's place of business. We're now going to go into Comtex's parts department. In our parts department, we presently carry over $1,800,000 worth of inventory. All of our systems, once again, are pre-checked, are loaded, carefully inventoried prior to going out to a customer's place of business for installation. Over here we see our inventory control manager, Mr. Raymond Garcia. Once again, this entire operation is 1,000% computerized. We are now looking at our dispatching area. All of our vehicles are radio dispatched for faster, quicker, efficient service. Over on our right, we see our Senior Vice President of Operations, Mr. Gordon Barksdale. And then on his immediate left is the office of Mr. Tony Sloterdijk, who is now visiting one of our branches. This now completes our service department. We will now go upstairs to finish our tour in our conference facilities. The final stop on our tour is our conference room. Our conference room is utilized by our potential clients to try out various systems at Comtex where they can utilize these systems live and try all the various features found in each system to see if in fact it's a system they wish to utilize in their own facilities. At Comtex, we carry 3 lines of equipment. Our first is manufactured by ITT Telecommunications, and it is our ITT 3100 system. We are a 5-star distributor for ITT. In addition to that, the second system we see is the Reliant telephone system manufactured by Walker Telecommunications. We received an award from Walker as their #1 distributor in the Southwest. Our third and final line is the Omega telephone system manufactured by Iwatsu America. Once again, Comtex International Corporation received an award as their #1 distributor in the Southwest. I want to take this final opportunity to thank all of you for visiting us here at World Headquarters, and we hope to meet many of you over the next 20 years personally touring our facilities at Comtex. Thank you very much again for taking this time.
For a few minutes. Ty, you've been one of the most successful people that we've ever had here in sales at Comtex, and I just wanted to talk to you about some things and hopefully get some advice on what we can do to make our sales more successful and possibly some helpful hints to some of the new people that are coming on board. Could you tell us a little bit about how you came to Comtex in the first place?
Well, it's kind of interesting. It's really sort of a funny story. But anyway, to make a long story short, I was with another company and I was not very happy at all. They were not very professional. They'd get to work in the morning at 8:30, they'd drink coffee, they'd sit around and read the newspaper, play gin for about an hour before lunch, and then they'd go get lunch for about 2 hours, come back and play another couple of hands of gin, and they'd all cut out at about 4:30. You know, and I'd be there at 6 o'clock in the afternoon or 6 o'clock at night, you know, trying to figure out where everybody's at. They're all gone home. It wasn't for me. And I stayed there for about 2 months. and I decided that I needed to start looking. So I just pulled out the newspaper, started called Comtex International, and got a hold of Al, and found out when I could come down and interview. So at the time, came down and interviewed, and lo and behold, I got hired.
Well, that's great. How long ago has that been? How long have you been with the company?
That was like the first part of June. I think the official starting date, I think I came on board June 11th. We went through a week of training, and so it was right there in the middle of June.
Okay. What have your sales been like since you came on board with Comtex?
The first 2 weeks I was here, I sold 13,000. The first full month, which was July, I sold 30,000. The following month, I sold 40,000. Then I dropped down to $3,000, and there's a good reason for that too. And I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. Then the next month, I did $60,000. In November, I did 36. In December, I did 35. And then this past January, I did 42,000. So I think it's about 250, 260,000.
That's incredible, Ty. Can you tell us some of the benefits that you've received from Comtex other than making $25,000, $30,000 in the last 6 months?
Well, the money has been nice, that's for sure. I know that's one of the things Al told us when we came on board, that the sky is the limit. Some of the other things are fringe benefits or whatever. Of course, we have complete health benefits and everything else. $300 a year for eyeglass, dental, whatever you need. The other thing that is real nice that I'm getting now, just started getting about $200, about 2 months ago, is the $400 a month car allowance. I got my first one about a month and a half ago, and I got just recently received my second one. $400 a month car allowance, which I'll start getting as long as I maintain that $30,000 to $35,000 average, which is fantastic. I love that $400 because it's just pure income. There's no taxes taken out of it. It's wonderful. It's just $400 clean. And the other thing is, let's see, I've been promoted to divisional manager. That's been a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. I've been able to help a lot of people. I really enjoyed that. The other thing, the most exciting thing for me to happen, and this is one of the reasons I came on board with Comtex, because I was told that something like this was very possible. I'm going to go to Montgomery, Alabama, and open a branch office over there for Comtex.
Great.
And I'm real excited about that. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And of course, we'll be able to make a lot of money, too. That's really nice.
Right. Well, that's quite an accomplishment, Ty. You must have a pretty good sales background to have been able to, done all that in a period of 6 or 8 months.
Well, not really. My sales experience is really zilch. I was in computers for 4 years, worked my way up with a small firm in Montgomery, Alabama. That's where my hometown is. And quickly realized that there was not any way to make a tremendous amount of money on a salary situation. I could work 60 or 65 hours a week and still get the same salary every week. What I was looking for was something that would be more directly related, or my income would be directly proportional to my effort. And so I knew I needed to go into sales. Everybody told me sales is where you can make a lot of money. So before coming on board with Comtex, I had 2 months sales experience with that previous company here in Jackson. It didn't work out at all. So 2 months sales experience, that's it.
That's incredible. And you're how old now?
23. No, I just turned 24. 24. That's right.
Okay.
That's that birthday.
Well, that's a pretty young age to be able to have your own branch. Are you surprised that you were able to do it this quickly?
Yeah, I am surprised. I still have to sort of pinch myself sometimes to make sure that this is not really a dream. But Al said, Al Bloom told me when I came on board, it was one of the things that attracted me, that the sky's the limit. It's possible to do anything with this company and make any amount of money. And he told everybody in the room, out of the 6 people that were there. It's kind of funny when you interview, you do group interviews, that after you've been here for 12 months, if you work hard, you sell a lot, you've proven yourself, and the company can trust you, then you can open your own branch. You can go back to your hometown. He told me I could get the car, the $400 a month car allowance. He told me about the different things that the company has, and quite honestly, in the beginning, it sounded too good to be true. I mean, you just wonder, now are these people really making this kind of money, or is this just a lot of bullshit trying to get you to come on board, you know? And I didn't know, because I haven't been around the world that much. You know, I didn't know, is my leg getting pulled or what? And I said, hell, I don't have anything to lose. I'm going to give it a shot. So I did, and it's just been fantastic. And I am surprised, yet I just simply did everything that Al said to do. And it's really very, very simple. It's not difficult. It's not
Happened just exactly like he said it was supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, to the T. I mean, just he didn't lie to me. He didn't lead me on. Just if I held up my end of the bargain, if I did what he told me it would take in the beginning, and continuing to do, he told me what I could have, and I've got it.
Right.
I've got the new car, you know, the car allowances, the branch, everything.
Name, Leslie, your full name?
Leslie Curtis.
Leslie Curtis. Okay, Leslie, and you've been at Comtex now how long?
1 month.
A little over a month. And let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I've been a restaurant manager 3 years prior to coming to Comtex.
In the restaurant management business?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Leslie, look at me and talk to me.
Okay.
Okay, so you've been in the restaurant management business for how long?
3 years.
3 years. And you never had any sales experience?
No.
How did you find the training here? You went through how many weeks of training?
It was 2 weeks of training.
2 weeks. Did you learn anything?
Yes, it was very comprehensive and geared towards developing people in sales techniques.
Okay, and then when you got out of training, what did you do in your first month in sales, first full month in sales, when you got out of training?
$51,000.
How much was that?
$51,000.
$51,000. So you earned, how much commission is that? Was that 11% commission? So that computes to how much money did you earn your first month here?
It was close to $6,000.
Close to $6,000. How much do you think you're going to make your first year with this company?
About $60,000.
$60,000. And let me ask you a little bit about your work habits. How many presentations did you make your first month? Did you set on the phone?
35.
35 appointments your first month here. And how do you like working for Comtex? Of course, realize you're on tape, Leslie, and that we may use this against you in a court of law or whatever, but, you know, just feel free to say anything you'd like. Go ahead. How do you like working here? Tell us about that a little bit.
I've enjoyed working for Comtex. There's been a lot of support from the management and a lot of ongoing training after the initial 2-week training period. The sales managers work very closely with you to develop you.
Okay, and have there been any motivational things, contests of any nature, anything like that you've seen while you've been here?
Yes, there's been 3 different promotions during the time that I've been here.
Okay, and we thank you very much. Thank you. Tell us your name, a little bit about your background.
My name is Mark Jones, and I graduated from Ohio University in the spring of 1981 and had come to Houston in the fall of '81 and had hired on with Comtex and have been here for about 3.5 years now. But as far as my background, Al, I was a college graduate from Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, and after leaving there, any background I have from professional is just as a student, and this is my first job I've ever had.
You were how old when you started here?
22.
Okay, let me ask you, do you remember what you did your first month here as far as sales were concerned?
The very first month...
First full month that you were
First full month was December, and with the holidays and everything, I ended up writing $42,000 of approved sales.
$42,000, which means you earned approximately $4,200.
Well, actually, I won't forget the month. With the incentive program we had that month, I earned an extra $400 because you gave us a point for every 1,000 we wrote as a bonus. So I earned about $4,600 that month.
For a Christmas bonus. And what would you say that your average sales per month during your stay at Comtex?
Well, the average per month was about $52,000 when you averaged out everything from the time I've taken over my new position, which was about 1.5 years ago.
Okay, and how would you describe working here?
Well, I'm biased because it's the only job I've ever had, but the only thing I can relate to how wonderful it is here is that all my college friends that I see probably two times, it's safe to say 2 times a year on ski trips and what have you, I get a good idea and ask them a lot because conveniently they are all in sales, and ask about their company, their structure, what they do, what makes the companies different, because I'm kind of, now with my new position, I'm kind of trying to dissect some ideas from them so I can come back from my trips with some good ideas. And I never realized, and with all my friends as well as Houston, I don't realize how good we have it here. Going back to your initial question, to describe it here, I think you've got a unique amount of people or group of people to work with. You've got a core of people that have been here for a while, administrative service and salespeople as we build. And management-wise, now that I'm in that, I'm again biased towards it, but you've got more support and more help when this company, and probably the best surroundings as an employee and as a salesperson, because those are two different people. You've got the best tools and the best environment to work in.
Thank you. All right, Mark, I have just two last questions. You're referencing to the new position you're in. What is your position at Comtex right now?
My position as of October of 1983 is branch sales manager, in charge of all the sales, key system sales of the Houston area, and all the sales rep, which presently we have 22 people.
And how long did it take you to get into that position? How long were you here at Comtex before you were promoted to that position?
It was coincidentally exactly 2 years, because November I started, well, middle of November, is about a year and 11 months. And I got that, I don't know if it's your next question now, but I got that, and I explained to people that I got that working my ass off, because when I came here, I had $600 in my pocket from Ohio, and needless to say, I've made a lot more money than that up till now, and I'm a very greedy person.
Okay. And how old were you when you took over that position?
24.
And has anything happened to you other than taking over that key position? Because you're in charge of a sales force now, about 25 salespeople. Has anything else happened to you as far as promotional or anything in Comtex?
Well, besides the financial rewards that I get due to my compensation program here for the amount of sales we put in, I've actually had something happen to me which I thought was a dream or something that was just told, you know, as something that as a hiring tool, that someday you can have equity position in this company. I mean, you can actually become an owner. And even today, as I'm interviewing here with the camera here, it never really hits home that I actually, just through the everyday life of talking with people at Comtex, that I am an owner of this company. And it's
when did you receive that?
I received it as a wedding gift from Comtex and of course from you, Al, on oh boy, better get this right, on November 22nd when I was married.
Too bad your wife isn't here to remind you.
It's been 3
Mark.
months.
Thank you, Mark. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Can we have your name and a little bit about your background, Abbas?
Yes, my name is Abbas. My last name is Mohseni. I generally work in restaurants, fine French restaurants, and prior to come to Comtex International, which I'm glad I did.
Well, when you say in restaurants, what were you, a maitre d' or?
Maitre d'
You were a maitre d'.
Right.
And how long have you been with the company?
With Comtex, coming May will be 1 year.
1 year. And can you remember back to what your first month's sales were, your first complete month after coming out of training?
Yes, I remember that month very well. It was about $39,000 that I did the first month, which just blew my own mind. I couldn't believe it.
So you earned about $3,900 your first month here, full month.
Yeah.
And can you tell us what your average sales per month have been since you've been here?
Well, somewhere about $41,000 to $42,000 to be exact.
Okay. And has anything happened to you along the lines of promotions?
Yeah, definitely. I knew the first couple of months that we started, it was a runner-up on the sales or attitude or what have you for a position of as divisional manager.
So you're now a divisional manager?
Yes, I'm a divisional manager. Right.
Okay, boss, thank you. We appreciate your time. Doug, can you give us your full name and tell us very quickly about your background, where you came from?
Yes, my name is Douglas Ingram, middle initial A, and I came from a direct sales background as a factory rep in the kitchen design industry.
All right, how long have you been with the company, Doug?
I've been here right at a year now.
At a year? Can you go back and relate to us, what was the first month's sales that you had complete month after training?
Okay, my first month, complete month after training, I was at about $30,000. but it was the second month that was significantly made a significant difference in my attitude about Comtex, which I made $150,000 in sales.
So you earned about 16, 17,000, whatever, your second month here, and about about 3,000 your first month.
Right.
Let me also ask you, since you went through the training, how did you find the training that you went through?
I found the training to be most complete, and really, in all honesty, one of the things that I had to do, my own thinking, was to program myself for the sales talk, because I had been in a much less regimented selling environment, and we didn't have a good sales talk to work with. We just kind of presented products and kind of hit and miss thing. So sales talk was very helpful to me.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Herb, what is your name, and can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, Al, my name is Herb Crawford. Basically, before coming to Comtex, I had about 3.5 years of experience in long-distance business. And prior to that, about 7 years in retail.
And how long have you been here with Comtex?
Well, now it makes 11 months.
Okay, can you go back and tell us, what did you do your first complete month out after your training?
Well, it was right around $21,000.
Okay, so you earned about $2,100 your first month, and what have you averaged per month, would you say?
The average has been about $36,000 every month.
Mm-hmm. And also, let me ask you this. Have there been any promotional opportunities for you here at Comtex?
Well, as a matter of fact, Al, last January I was promoted to the position of divisional manager.
Mm-hmm. And can you also tell us, how did you find the training here?
I found it very thorough. Didn't realize how much there was to know, even with my background in telecommunications. It seems that knowing the competition, your sales presentation, and all the things that there is to know about your own system, I found it to be very, very thorough.
What would you say is the secret to success here, Herb?
I'd say number one, hard work. Hard work in the sense that you have to do certain things on a daily basis. Cold calling, 2 to 3 presentations a day. I'd also say that success comes from being a constant student in sales, that you constantly have to stay on top of things.
Okay, thanks, sir. We appreciate it. In first place, you guys really did well, and I want to congratulate each and every one of you for last month. In first place, not here, back to New York to complete his junior year, $60,000 target. He did $64,000. Scott Bloom for 107% quota. In second place, he is here with $61,000 for the month, 102% of quota. Wait, do I have a two-way tie? I have a two-way tie for second place. All right, first part of the two-way tie. $61,000, 102% of quota. Mark Jones, stand by. Zoom it in on him.
Yeah.
All right, now, in tied for second place, also with $61,000 for the month, 102% of quota, Gordon Barksdale. Gordon, I like Gordon. Is this your first month?
First month.
This is your first month sales. I think that deserves an extra round of applause. Okay, in fourth place, is that right? Yeah. In fourth place, also his first month, I understand he's had a car problem this morning, at $48,000 or 80% of quota, Steve Simone. Steve. In, what are we at? Fifth. In fifth place, with $43,000 or 72% of quota, Matt Hesser. Matt, stand up. All right, Matt. And in sixth place, with $41,000 for the month, 68% of quota, Don Empley. Don, stand up. In seventh place, with $29,000 for the month, 48% of quota, Steve Hicks. Steve. All right, Steve. In eighth place, Fidel Hernandez, $28,000 for the month, 47% of quota. Fidel.
8th place. Where is it? Tied for 8th place, excuse me. 2-8 tie for 8th place. Also has $28,000 for the month, 47% of quota. Steve Rundio. Steve. And finally, in 10th place, Jeff Hamill with $15,000 or 25.